You're not lazy. That's the lie. You keep telling yourself because it sounds harmless, because it doesn't force you to change anything. But the truth is, a lot more uncomfortable. You're addicted, not to drugs, not to alcohol, to comfort. And it's quietly destroying your life. Every morning, you wake up with the same silent agreement. I'll start later. Later, I'll work. Later, I'll focus. Later, I'll fix my life. But later never comes, because the moment discomfort shows up, you escape, you grab your phone, you scroll, you distract yourself, and you call it rest. But it's not rest. It's avoidance. Let's be honest. You don't struggle because things are too hard. You struggle because you've trained yourself to avoid anything that feels uncomfortable. And now your brain sees discomfort as danger. Not growth, not progress, danger. Think about it. The moment something requires effort, your brain says, let's do something easier. And you listen every time. That's not laziness. That's conditioning. You've built a system where comfort always wins, and now you're trapped inside it. Here's the part most people don't want to hear. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it costs you everything long term. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you're voting for the same life, the same habits, the same results, the same frustration, and deep down, you know it, that's why you feel guilty at night. That's why you feel like you're wasting your potential. Because you are, not because you're incapable, but because you keep choosing what's easy. Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Avoid pain, seek comfort, conserve energy. Thousands of years ago, this kept you alive today. It's keeping you stuck. Because your life doesn't improve through comfort. It improves through controlled discomfort. Effort, discipline, consistency. Things your brain is trying to avoid. And here's the dangerous part. Comfort doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like relief. You tell yourself, I deserve this break. I worked hard. I'll do it tomorrow. And just like that, another day is gone. Now multiply that by weeks, months, years, and suddenly you're in a place you don't recognize, not because something bad happened, but because nothing happened. That's the real danger, not failure, stagnation. Because failure teaches you something, comfort teaches you nothing. It just keeps you exactly where you are. Look at your life right now, not your plans, not your intentions, your reality. Your habits are a reflection of your comfort addiction. You avoid hard conversations. You delay important work. You choose entertainment over progress. You stay in situations, you've outgrown, not because you don't know better, but because discomfort scares you more than staying stuck. And that's the trap. You've made comfort your default. So anything that challenges you feels wrong, feels stressful, feels like something to avoid. But what if the opposite is true? What if the discomfort you're running from is exactly what you need? Think about the last time you actually did something hard, something you didn't feel like doing. Maybe you worked out when you were tired. Maybe you finished something you wanted to quit. Maybe you pushed through resistance. How did you feel after? Stronger, clearer, more in control. That's not coincidence. That's how you're supposed to live. But you've replaced that with constant comfort. And now your life feels empty because comfort doesn't build anything. It only maintains, and if your current life isn't where you want it to be, maintaining it is the worst thing you can do. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more information. You don't need another video. You need to break your addiction to comfort. And that starts with understanding something simple. You're going to feel uncomfortable either way. You can feel the discomfort of discipline or the discomfort of regret. One builds your future, the other destroys it. Right now, you're choosing the second one every day. And the worst part, you've normalized it. Scrolling for hours feels normal. Avoiding your goals feels normal. Being distracted feels normal, but it's not. It's just familiar. And your brain confuses familiar with safe, so it keeps pulling you back into the same patterns. Even when those patterns are ruining your life, this is why you keep starting and stopping, why you get motivated for a few days, then fall back. Because motivation can't beat addiction, and make no mistake, this is an addiction. You're addicted to easy dopamine, instant gratification, zero resistance. Your brain has learned. Why struggle when I can feel good instantly? And until you break that pattern, nothing changes. So how do you fix it? Not by trying to eliminate discomfort. That's impossible. You fix it by changing your relationship with it. You stop seeing discomfort as something to avoid and start seeing it as a signal that you're doing something that matters. Because everything that improves your life feels uncomfortable at first. Waking up early, working out, building something, learning a skill, fixing your habits. None of it feels good in the beginning, but that's the point. Growth feels uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, and your brain hates unfamiliar, but your future depends on it. So here's what you need to do. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're losing, because later is where your goals go to die. Instead, you act immediately, not perfectly, not intensely. Just immediately. You don't need to do everything. You need to do something right now, because action breaks the comfort cycle thinking. Doesn't planning, doesn't waiting, definitely doesn't. Only action. And it doesn't have to be big. In fact, it shouldn't be start small. So small it feels almost stupid. But do it consistently, because consistency is what rewires your brain, not intensity. Anyone can go hard for 2 days. Almost nobody stays consistent for 2 months. That's where the change happens. Not in dramatic moments, but in boring repetition, doing the same hard thing over and over, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's how you break the addiction. You teach your brain a new rule. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is direction. And once that clicks, everything changes. You stop avoiding effort. You start seeking it because you understand something. Your life improves in direct proportion to your ability to tolerate discomfort. The more you can handle, the more you grow, the less you avoid, the more you become. And eventually, what used to feel hard becomes normal. That's when you win. Not when things get easier, but when you get stronger. So stop calling yourself lazy. That label is keeping you stuck. You're not lazy. You're comfortable. Too comfortable. And comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want a different life, you need different habits. If you want different habits, you need different choices. And those choices won't feel good at first. That's how you know they're working. So the next time you feel resistance, don't run, pause, recognize it, and then do the thing anyway. Because that moment, that exact moment, is where your life changes. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you take back control. And every time you don't, you give it away. So decide who's in control, you or your addiction. Because your future is already being decided by the choices you're making today, not the ones you plan to make, not the ones you talk about, the ones you actually make right now. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Same habits, same life, same frustration. But if you start choosing differently, even in small ways, everything shifts. Not instantly, but inevitably, because discipline compounds just like comfort does. One builds, the other destroys. So choose carefully, because in the end, you don't get the life you want. You get the life you repeat. And right now, you're repeating comfort. Change that, and you change everything.